Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 241 of a year of change. Today we're adding another person to our YouTube channel, to our YouTube ranks. We're adding some new person to the channel within our YouTube ranks. I don't know. Anyway, you know what I mean. Adding a new YouTuber, as per usual. It's Tuesday. We gotta do it. This person actually, over the past couple of weeks, we're trying to get some people that had just sort of started out or that had, just put one or two videos up. Then we added a couple of people that have been doing this for a while, and we've sort of been floating back and forth. We're actually catching this guy just at the very, very beginning, which is a nice thing to do because it's tough when you get started on these things. I'm jumping ahead. Sorry. Let me start over here. Okay. His name's Connor Bradley, and he's from Ireland. And he's only got one video up right now. Sorry. He's only got one video up right now. He's just sort of starting out, and it's just mainly the introduction video for the vlog that he wants to do. And when we first start doing these things, and when I first started, but you see it in a lot of the other people that are doing this as well, we don't know what we're doing. We really are just sort of winging it all the way. I mean, we have a rough idea saying that, we do want something that's going to provide a little bit of accountability to us. That's sort of going to document what our progress has been and, things like that. But the main thing that really, and I know I say this all the time, but the main thing that comes across with anyone that we've added to the channel, it's usually the main reason why I add people to it, is that there's that innate desire to help other people with this. That we know what the sort of struggle that we're going to be going through. And although part of it is, we kind of don't want to go through it alone. We want other people to walk along with us and go through it so that when we have those rough days and we have someone that we can talk to that's going to be able to understand. But also that, a year down the road, when we sort of come back and see how far we've come, that someone might be able to go in and see that and that it might give them a little bit of information that they can use to help themselves. And I'm really dry. Again. Fine. Anyway. So you do see that in his video as well. There are a number of different things, though. It's a very short introductory video, so I recommend that you go up and take a look. But there are a couple of things that sort of really hit home with it. He does go through a brief little history, and I won't spoil the ending for you, so don't worry. But he does mention something about going to a zip line. And that, I talked about this in the tag video I did over the weekend, which is not related to this playlist, but you can go find it. And that's one of the things I really want to do when I lose all the weight. There's like a zip line thing between trees called Trigo near, I don't know, it was right near me, within a couple of hours drive, I think. And they're like bungee jumping and skydiving, all the really exciting things that all the cool people do that I really, really want to go try. But there's a weight restriction on it, and he ran into that same issue. With me, I haven't even bothered to go to try because, at my heaviest, I was 325, and I knew that there's no way that, I'm ever going to, and even now, at the weight I am, I don't think I'm ready for it. Same thing with bungee jumping and skydiving, of all things. And probably now, I think, but at my heaviest, even then, if, there's a weight restriction for skydiving. If you're too fat to fall out of the sky, then yeah, you have a bit of an issue. I didn't go after it because I didn't want someone to say, you're too fat for us to push you out of a plane. Just falling, there's a weight restriction on that. So, it does sort of strike a chord at that point because you think there's so many things that we want to do and that we simply can't yet. But he does also talk about something that we've mentioned a few times. That defense mechanism that we all have where, we're the first person to sort of get the joke or make the joke, rather, not get the joke. It's just that self-deprecating humor that we've grown so accustomed to because it sort of diffuses the situation. It's usually in a place where, people are either thinking it or they're about to say it. So if you can sort of jump in there with a better joke right on the onset, then sort of just settles things down, and at least that way, I know it's over and done with. I know the joke has been made, and most times it's going to be better than what someone else is going to come up with. It still bothers us, but it sort of lessens the blow where it's coming from us. And generally, it is something that we've all done at some point, that we've made fun of ourselves before anyone else can. And he does talk about that as well, briefly. I don't know if this is the same with women, but for guys, at some point, every fat guy in the world has done the truffle shuffle. Maybe when we were younger, maybe not as an adult, but we've all done it at some point. It's like a rite of passage for fat guys that we all have to do it. We're in there with you. So it's just, I don't know what it is. If you don't know what the truffle shuffle is, then go watch The Goonies. It's like 30 years old at this point. So everyone, yeah, chances are if you're watching this, you know exactly what it is. We've all done it at some point. Whether it's, not necessarily being forced to by other people, but, it's sort of in that vein of that self-deprecating humor as well. But, he does talk about how he wants to sort of come back after a year, take a look at his progress and things like that. And that's one thing, too, that, there are so many weight loss vlogs out there of people that start out after they've lost the weight and said, all right, you know what? I've lost 200 pounds. Here's how I did it. And then they just sort of continue on that way, which is great. It does help a lot of people. There's information there that you can get out of it. But when you look at someone like that, it's when you're 300 or 400 pounds and you're looking at someone that's already lost all the weight, we've seen that so many times before. And it's so difficult because you think, yes, they've done it, so obviously I can do it, but I've got so far to go. It's a little different. That's why I started this channel as well. It's so different to look at someone who's starting at nothing, just starting from scratch, saying, I don't know what I'm doing. Here's what my plan is. Here's what I suspect or expect is going to happen. And just sort of follow along with them. And being able to start out with someone when they first start things, said start twice, it's kind of weird. But to be able to start out with them that way and follow along with them, and he knows he's going to have ups and downs. He knows he's going to have good weeks and bad weeks. He knows it's going to take a long time, and he knows it's going to take a lot of hard work to do. So it's not a matter of saying, well, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to join the gym and go 6 hours a day, and I'm going to cut down to 500 calories a day, and then I'm going to lose all this weight in 6 months. He understands it's going to be a long process, and that sort of realism, or that's not right, is it? The realistic outlook that he has. There's something to be said for being positive and saying, okay, you know what? Yes, I've had a shit day, like this past weekend. Yes, had a shit day. Ate stuff I shouldn't have eaten. Didn't go over, but still not healthy stuff. But it's not going to make me quit. It's not going to make me slow down. It's just, no, I just had a bad day. I'm going to keep on going. And there's something to be said for, just being positive that way. But there's a difference between that and then just having that rah-rah go team, like that fake positivity that seems to be permeating everything. Where it's like, no, you can do it. You have the power and all. It's just, no, you know what? Let me grump once in a while. Let me say I have had a shitty week. Let me bitch and moan when, in the weeks where I've been trying stuff and I still gain. Because that's what we've been doing for the past few months. Is just tweaking things here and there, finding out what works and what doesn't work. And, yes, we've had weeks where we've gained. We've had weeks where we've lost. We've had weeks where nothing happened. The first 2 months, nothing fucking happened at all. We weren't losing. We weren't gaining. It just seemed like, well, we're starting things off. We're setting the stage. But there should be some sort of progress, and there just wasn't. But, and he does ask in his video as well that he's saying that any information is going to be helpful because he's not quite sure where to start. And a lot of us were there. We've been there at some point, whether it's going out and buying a diet book or trying what we started here. It's just, when I first started this, I had no fucking idea what I was going to be doing. I had no clue whatsoever. I'm just, okay, I know I need to eat less and do more. No idea where to start from there. So just do tiny little baby steps all the way through. And, in the long run, they've added up. It's been very slow going, but it's been going. We have made progress. So on top of that, though, he does ask for help, which is something that we all do. But he also offers some and saying that, if he can go back and look at this, a year from now, and other people can go in and see it, or if you have family or friends that are going to benefit from it, then yes, he's going to try to do as much as he can that way as well. And that comes through with a lot of YouTubers that start these vlogs. Whether or not they're starting it from the time after they've lost weight or when they're just starting their weight loss, that there is that, that feeling of, I want this to help other people as well. Because we know how rough it is living this way for the entirety of our lives, for the most part. I'm sure there are some out there that, we're fine, and then at later in life they've gained weight and they were never fat before. But for the majority of us, I mean, we've been fat since we were kids. So dealing with a lifetime of that, we know what it's like. And being able to say, okay, I'm going to try to do my best to lose as much as I can. I'm going to see what works, and whatever does work will be the trial and error. And then other people can come in, they can take a look and say, good enough, I know that this works. I can watch them and follow along with them. And, as they go from, well, in my case anyway, 325 pounds down to hopefully 175, probably by the end of next year. But being able to sort of watch that slow progress and follow along with them, just to let them know that they're not alone. Now, I'm going to send him an email as well, just to let him know that we are out there. But go up and take a look at his channel and sign up just to give him that support. I don't know if he's on MyFitnessPal, but I'm going to send him a quick note and let him know about that so that he can add me if he wants. I'm going to cough really loud in a minute. Maybe not. Maybe it'll just clear my throat. There we go. Okay, sorry. Remember to edit that out. I'll keep it in, but so that it doesn't blind the microphone. You know what I mean. By the way, he does have the best intro that I've seen so far. You'll understand when you see it. It's a little 2-word intro, but I'm kind of hoping he starts all of his videos that way because it was a great start off to it. But just overall, it is sort of a quick, introduction to who he is and what he's looking to do. And just like all of us, when we first started doing this, we are sort of at a loss. We don't know where to turn. We don't know where to go. We don't know what's going to work for us and what isn't going to work for us. It's nice to be able to ask people and say, you know what, send me what information you can. Because when we try to gather together and share that, then that's where I find that we could get the most strength for this. It's sounding really, really hippie douchebag stuff, but you know what I mean. In the past few weeks when I've been adding people on MyFitnessPal, the community there is really, really good as well. We've got a great community here, people that sort of share information back and forth. We watched a number of people sort of start and stop. Some of the YouTubers have stopped posting, which is a bit sad. You're kind of hoping that they're going to continue on. There are some people that are still posting, but they moved away from the weight loss thing. But inevitably, we're still getting information back and forth. We're still sharing things. We're still letting people know that we are out there. And if they decide to come back, I want them to be able to have a place that they can go. And there is that same feeling that sort of comes across with everyone that we've added, that, what we're seeing is going to help other people at some point along the way. And you could have 300 videos up, and if it's just one of them, that someone takes one little nugget of information, and it proves to be helpful to them, then we're good. We're happy with that. It doesn't have to be that, every single, video is just chock full of information and everyone's a gem and you're saying, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world. There are a lot of videos I've gone up to and I've gotten a lot of good information. And even just if for no other reason, to be able to know, to see that there's someone else out there that's struggling through the same stuff. It's one thing to see, yes, obviously we've struggled through this, but now I've lost all the weight and everything is good. It's another thing entirely to watch someone that's going through it as you're going through it and being able to say, you know what, I did that last week. I had that rough week, or I've been on a plateau for 5 or 6 weeks that we saw when Jennifer started up. All those things, when you can share those things back and forth, and it's not going to hit home every single time. But in general, having that sense of community and knowing that you have a support system out there that you can go to and talk with them and say, I'm having a really shit week. What do I do? Instead of having them say, well, you need to go to the gym and, up your intake of this supplement and do this. Say, no, just, you've had a shit week. It's rough. You're going to have those shit weeks from time to time. But just don't let it make you just give up and say, I quit, I'm done, I'm over with this, what's the point? Which we've all gotten to many, many times. And I think, he has that outlook where it's going to be practical. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take hard work. So there are going to be discouraging moments in there, but I don't think it's a matter of saying, well, to hell with this is too hard. We've really tried hard over the past 7 or 8 months to do that with what we're doing, sort of setting the stage up first and saying, all right, now we can make a tiny change here that is going to be very minor and very easy to do. And they've been stacking up, and I'm not losing the weight as quickly as I would like to, obviously, but on average, we're still doing about 1 to 2 pounds a week. And long term, it's sustainable. We can still eat what we want. We are exercising more. It's just we haven't gone full bore into it like some of them have. And sometimes you can. Sometimes it'll work for people to do that, to just dive right in and go to the gym, for 2 or 3 hours a day and cut their calories way, way down. But for us, it hasn't worked. We've tried it before with diets and joining gyms and everything else. This is something that has worked for us. And it's not as fast as we would like, obviously, but we're looking sort of long term. It's been working. So, sort of got off on a tangent here. Anyway, let's sort of start this over. So, his name's Connor Bradley. Go up, take a look at his video. I'm going to send him a quick email message as well, just to let him know that we're out here, and so that he can, start gathering a little bit more information from the different people that we have on the channel. And I'll let him know about MyFitnessPal as well. But go up and see his video, and at least let him know that we are out there, so that it's one thing to sort of start things off and have friends and a quick group of followers saying, oh, go for it, everything's good. It's going to be a little bit different when he has another group of people that are coming up and saying, we've been through what you're going through, or we're starting out, or we're continuing to go through it. And just to let him know, there's some place that he can reach out to, that he's got people that he can talk to and say, you know what, this is going well, this is going badly, whatever it is, and that he's going to be able to find someone that understands and that's either been where he is or is there now. And in the same vein, he's going to be able to pass that along as he goes, so that 6 weeks from now, he's going to be able to go back to someone that's just starting out and saying, well, here's the issue that I had. So being able to sort of add to that community is always a good thing. And I've said it before that more than the diet and the exercise and positive thinking and motivation and everything else, the thing that's going to make us stick with this, I think, is that support system and that sense of community, and being able to have people that we can talk to and share this with. That, I think, is going to keep us on track more than anything else. Anyway, go up and take a look at him, say hello, send him a quick note, let him know that we are out there. But for me right now, I'm going to leave this video here. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. In the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.